Market cap, $18 billion. Fiscal year 2026 revenue target, $36 billion. Put the two numbers next to each other. That looks juicy on the surface. A company that's aiming to book twice its market cap in sales in 1 year? That smells like either a ridiculous bargain or a ticking time bomb. Which one is it? If a company with an $18 billion market cap legitimately pushes $36 billion in revenue, that's scale. Investors love scale. Scale suggests bargaining power, leverage on fixed costs, and the potential to make even thin margins translate into fat profits. Now the reality check, and it's brutal. Supermicro is a middleman. It assembles other people's chips, power supplies, cooling systems, and electronics into fully integrated rack systems that hyperscalers, cloud providers, and AI farms can bolt into data centers. That business is operationally intense and, historically, low gross margin, in the neighborhood of 10% to 15%, depending on product mix and one-off adjustments. When your gross margin is 10%, $36 billion in sales translates to roughly $3.6 billion gross profit before operating expenses, R&D, interest, and taxes, which can evaporate quickly. So the twice market cap revenue headline is a siren song. The actual profit math is what separates a win from a wipeout. Gross margins, the skinny that eats up the glam. Imagine selling 100 concert tickets at $10 each. That's $1,000 revenue. If each ticket only nets you $1 after costs, 10% gross margin, your profit before overhead is $100, not bad if overhead is tiny. But when overhead includes star staffing, tour trucks, lawsuits about the opening act, and a $2,000 sound system, that $100 disappears. Supermicro's business is that low-ticket margin concert. Massive revenue flows through, but the per-unit margin is slim. In recent quarters the company even reported non-GAAP gross margins around the high single digits to low teens after inventory adjustments and ramp costs, a compression that startled investors who had previously seen fatter margins in boom times. Margin compression is the thing that turns good-looking revenue into a paper tiger. Trailing earnings, the P/E that tells a calmer tale. Now the income story. Over the last 12 months, Supermicro's net income was just under $800 million, which puts the trailing P/E at roughly 24x based on recent prices. That's not exactly pennies on the dollar. It's actually a middle-of-the-road valuation for a company tied to a hot thematic, AI infrastructure, but with operational and governance baggage. In plain talk, the market is saying, we believe earnings are real, but we're not giving you a huge multiple because there's risk in the story. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, like the video, it means much to me, or hit the subscribe button and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you have commented, let's continue. Why the P/E feels both tempting and terrifying, the twin narratives. Two competing narratives live in the same headline: the bullish movie, revenue doubles, scale improves per unit economics, service and integration income add recurring margins, margins recover, earnings multiply, multiple expansion follows, and the stock soars because the valuation was set while fear sat heavy on shares. The cautionary thriller, revenue grows but at low gross margins, customer concentration and accounts receivable risks expose volatility. One hiccup, a big customer delaying payment, an oversupplied GPU market, or a manufacturing snag, turns record revenue into a cash flow trap. The market's current P/E around 24x suggests investors are half expecting the cautionary thriller. They want growth, but they also want to be paid for the risk. The $2 billion credit line, lifeline or leash? Cue the plot twist. Supermicro inked a $2 billion senior revolving credit facility with JP Chase as administrative agent and a syndicate of lenders. Maturity? December 29, 2030. Purpose? Working capital, letters of credit, and general corporate needs. The company filed the deal with the SEC and said it gives them additional financial flexibility to support operations and growth initiatives. That's real and material. It's a financial oxygen tank for a company that needs working capital during massive build cycles. Now the dual reading, this facility can be enabling. It helps the company finance rapid builds for hyperscalers and meet production timelines without panicking about short-term cash. Or it can be restrictive. The debt comes with covenants, security, and monitoring. If operating cash flow doesn't improve and borrowings rise, that same facility could become a leash. The line between lifeline and leash is execution. Manufacturing footprint, where the racks are actually made. Supermicro's operations span the United States, Taiwan, and the Netherlands, a global footprint built to meet customers where they are. That international manufacturing base helps the company be close to supply chains, customers, and localized compliance requirements, very important for federal/government work. It also means the company must manage multi-jurisdiction logistics, currency exposures, and different labor realities, which is logistically savvy but operationally complex. Imagine running 3 kitchens in different countries that supply the same restaurant chain. Menu standardization is great in theory, but ingredient sourcing, infrastructure differences, and local inspectors make it a full-time operational puzzle. Why being a middleman is both profitable and perilous. Let's unpack the middleman economics, the core of the Smci conundrum. Pros. Volume play. Assembling whole racks at scale brings in enormous revenue. Customers want turnkey solutions with validated cooling, power, and integration. Speed to deploy. Hyperscalers value quick turnarounds. Supermicro systems let buyers spin up clusters faster than designing systems in-house. Customization and IP. For many deployments, Supermicro adds software, integration, and specialized cooling IP that customers value. Cons. Thin gross margins. Hardware assembly is commoditized. Value add is limited versus owning the chip IP itself. Customer bargaining power. Large hyperscalers can negotiate hard, squeeze margins, or internalize builds if it's cost justified. Inventory and receivable risk. You often ship before you're paid. If a few big customers delay payments, the balance sheet gets stressed. Being a concert promoter who manages stages and PA systems for megabands, you make money through volume, but you don't own the band. If ticket demand weakens, you still have to pay the stage crew. The big margin question: can scale fix thin profits? This is the million-dollar boardroom question: does scale beat margin compression? If the company hits $36 billion in revenue with margins creeping back to the mid-teens, economics look stellar, fixed costs spread out, per unit manufacturing costs drop, and services add recurring, higher margin streams. Investors love that re-rate. But if revenue grows to $36 billion and margins stay at 10%, the upside to earnings is limited. Top-line growth becomes less exciting because every incremental dollar adds much less to the bottom line. The difference between 10% and 15% gross margin on $36 billion is $1.8 billion of incremental gross profit, a huge delta in EPS world. Margin recovery is the ignition switch for the stock. Without it, revenue is an impressive headline, not a profit engine. Note this as well. Do you want peace at heart? The next day John seeth Jesus coming unto him, and saith, Behold the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world. John 1:29. Fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven, and earth, and the sea, and the fountains of waters. Revelation 14 verse 7. I appeal to you to fear God and obey his law. For his commandments are sure and his word everlasting. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Want more information? Please check the description section. That's the end for now. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. 3 more favors I request from you. First, like this video, subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you greatly encourage me to continue bringing to you insightful information. Do not miss out on our future videos full of insight. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support means so much to us. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone who may benefit. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts about today's video. Wish you God's blessings and care. Wait, watch and pray. See you in the next video according to God's will.